What's going on, everybody? Bayou Exclusive Backroads here with a 2012 Chevrolet Equinox. This is the one that has a 2.4 liter four-cylinder that does 172 pound-feet of torque and 182 horsepower. Not anything super crazy. Moving along to the back side of the car, it still, even on the back side, has a nice mature look to it, and still a good look. Like at the top of the trunk here, it has like a nice little, almost like a little lip spoiler. It looks really good. Adds a little bit more style into the back side of the car. I like that. Tail lights are basic but nicely styled. It's not anything too sharp and crazy like a lot of stuff is nowadays. It's subtle, it's clean, it's overall good. It has a nice roof rack on it, as you can see right there. Overall, just nice car. It has, again, on the bottom, plastic, and that helps with it's not like the most appealing looking to most people, but it helps keep paint chips and stuff away and helps protect the underside of your car, and like that'll help a lot, especially later in years, like from rust and whatnot. Especially this does have the alloy wheels, which look really good in my opinion. I think just basic brakes. It does have Michelin Latitude tires on it. They're 225s all the way around. We'll see how those experience and how they feel and stuff going around a couple curves and just cruising around. But besides that, we're gonna head on to the inside. All right, for the interior of the 2012 Equinox. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of noise and stuff like that. It's really hot today. It's like one of the first days at 90 degrees here in Louisiana. So I have the air up and just it's hot and I need it. So I apologize for that. But starting off with the gauges. Gauges are really cool in this car. I really like these gauges. They kind of have like a more action-y feel to them. Really cool font. It does have a nice little center screen right there. It's not color or anything like that. It's very basic, but it is like it's there, and you have all your trip and everything is on there. You know, nothing too crazy, but all the basics that you need. You have your tire pressure sensors and everything that'll show up on there. But it's still nice to see that even at a car from 2012. Now, going back to the steering wheel, it's a fairly basic steering wheel. You have your cruise control. It does have Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff like that. But nothing super crazy. Like a good 9 and 3. A couple little 10 and 2 notches, which is nice to see. No flat bottom or anything like that. Just a basic wheel. Going on to the doors. Doors are nice. You have a nice little bit of padding right there. And you of course have a couple of, moving on to the center here, you have your radio, which does have all of your knobs, all of your buttons and everything, but it also is touchscreen, which I think is really cool. It's very responsive and easy to use, and like it's pretty simple. There are, because of all the buttons, there are a few buttons on here a little bit cluttered looking almost, but all the button stuff do feel pretty good. They're all pretty tight and solid feeling, and all the buttons they feel very nice for just being GM quality. Like some of their stuff can sometimes be a little bit loose and cheap feeling, but you can tell they're all plastic and whatnot, but they're tight on there. They're not loose and feel like absolute junk. Car does have a CD player. That's something nice that like my wife's new Malibu doesn't have a CD player in it at all, so that's nice to still see. Keep on going down, you have a storage cubby right there that has just an auxiliary outlet. You have your shifter right here with an eco button, which the eco button is, it doesn't really do a whole bunch. It more so is for it'll change like your gearing sets and stuff like that, and it'll change your idle speed, like the engine speed at idle. But even from GM, they've said that it only adds about 1 mile per gallon more to your fuel economy. Like around city and stuff like that, it doesn't do too much, but on the highway, you'll start to see that passing power isn't there as much because it doesn't want to downshift. It doesn't have kind of the RPM that it'll give you. It tones all that down a good bit. Moving on down, you have your 2 cup holders. You have your traction control. You have a little slot right there you can use for change. and you have your armrest in the center right here, which has a fair amount of padding to it. It's pretty comfortable, not nothing too bad. In there is actually a lot of storage. There's a tray in there to put like coins or whatever in, but the storage actually goes basically all the way down to where the floor is. Like it is very deep. It's not very wide, as you can see here. My hand fits all the way across it, but it's very deep. Continuing along, the seats in this are actually pretty nice. They're not super comfortable, but they're not hard seats either. They have this nice red stitching on them, kind of different patterns on them. It makes it look a really cool looking seat. It even has like a fair amount of bolstering and stuff like that to keep you in, but I mean, they aren't the most softest seat in the world, but they're pretty comfortable. Like good enough for what, like for a road trip or anything like that. Moving along to the back seat here, it's actually pretty surprising. I have a ton of legroom back here, like plenty of legroom, and I'm 5'9". So this is me sitting behind myself. If I were to be sitting like right now, I'm seated like fairly straight legged. Like I can stretch out and still have plenty of room. So I think a road trip in this car would be easy peasy, no big deal, and great back seat legroom. Now moving on to the trunk portion, it's a pretty good. This is the mid-size kind of compact SUV, so it's not like going to be anything super huge, but like you could fit 2 good-sized suitcases in here, and it has a cargo net in it. It has a rollover top in it, so I mean you could in the back seats fold down, so you can really have plenty of space like many SUVs. The only thing is this one does not have an automatic down like a lot of the newer ones do. I'm not sure if they came available with them at all in higher trims, but even so, it's not like it's a hard one to close. Like you get it over halfway and it closes easy peasy. So that's it. That's it for all the inside and the exterior. So we're gonna do a little bit of driving now. I'll come back to you on that. All right, setting off in the 2012 Equinox. First off, it is very quiet in here. Really refined. You have a little bit of road noise that you get through, but outside noise for the most part, like other cars passing around, wind noise, it is very quiet. Really nice, relaxed seating position in here. A really comfortable ride. You of course have like your typical kind of little squeaks from a little bit cheaper plastics and stuff like that. But you know, one of the higher trim models would be more leather and stuff like that, so there wouldn't more cloth, so there wouldn't be that much squeak. Just, you know, plastic with age gets a little bit harder, it kind of squeaks a little bit more, everything gets a little bit looser. But so far it feels very comfortable, very relaxed. Like this is a road trip for a long time. Sit in traffic, do a little bit of shopping, like easy to drive vehicle. Anybody can get in and you'd have no problem just hopping in and driving. One of the other things about the car I'm noticing right off the bat is visibility is great. You have a really wide and not super tall windshield, but a really wide windshield, really wide windows, and really good view out the back, and just everything's set up to where you can see really easily. In the mirrors, they have little squares in the corners that really help with blind spot and stuff like that. I'm realizing that right off the back too. That would help with blind spot. Going over some bumps and stuff like that, it soaks it up amazingly. Just super soft and comfortable. A couple of corners coming up, we're gonna see. I mean, it's an SUV. I'm not expecting anything crazy like that. It has like tall sidewall tires. It's not gonna handle great. We're just gonna see. Oh yeah, you feel the lean for sure in it, but it's an SUV. It's not made for carving up back roads and doing any kind of crazy driving or anything like that. But you'll get your, like, you don't have to worry about if you need to turn fast somewhere, it'll turn fine. Like, don't expect to go carving up a back road or anything like that because it's an SUV. That's not what we're gonna be doing with it. Brakes are pretty good on it. Stopping right here. Brakes feel great. Have a good bite right at the top of the pedal and all the way down. brakes feel really good. It's a good progression through the brake. Also, it's not like you get a little bit, then a ton of bite. It's a good progression from the start to the end, from when you start pressing the brake to you stop. Pedal responsiveness feels pretty good too. I'm not doing any kind of like hard acceleration or anything like that, just standard up to 3,000. It has no red line indicator on it, but I'm assuming that red line, since peak power is, I think it said about 67 red lines, probably about around there. I have the eco mode on right now, so I'll turn that off in a little bit, and we'll hopefully be able to see a difference in how the transmission shifts and stuff like that. As of right now, it likes to sit in one gear, and it'll shift, and it'll sit in that gear, and like it'll it doesn't shift super snappy or anything like that, but it's not a slow shifter. It doesn't try and shift through the gears really quickly, and it's not hunting around for the right gear. Alright, I'm back now. I'm sorry about that if there's a little change in the video quality or audio quality. I haven't really tried this before, but I'm currently using my GoPro because my phone got too hot and stuff and didn't want to record anymore, so I have a GoPro on the passenger seat just in case, because I knew it was hotter today. I know the windshield right there gets really hot. There's not really much airflow right there. So I'm going to try using the GoPro. Hopefully the video and audio comes out really nice. If so, I'll probably use the GoPro every time from now on, besides just using my phone. But getting back into it, we were talking about the brakes on the car, which are exceptional, and the feel of just everything. The feel of when you're driving it. I mean, it's not a sporty, it's not a sports car. It's just made for, you know, a commuter. And that's pretty much all you're going to get out of it. I mean, it has sporty touches here, like the gauges, and kind of some of the way it's all set up. Some of the styling is a little bit sportier. It is a little bit lower to the ground than most SUVs. It overall drives a little bit sportier too. It has like a little bit bitier brakes, I feel like. Throttle response is a little bit more there. I feel like if it had the V6 in it, it'd be a lot more punchier and stuff like that. But it's not sluggish by any means either. As far as cruising around and stuff like I am right now, it has plenty of go and stuff. You're not like, oh, come on, get up and go. I'm trying to go at this light, and I feel like if you were in a rush to get somewhere, it'd be perfectly fine. You'd have plenty of go to like go as fast as you need to. So as far as all that goes, I have no worries about any of that. Overall, just a really nice car. I'll do a stronger acceleration pull with the eco mode on and then with the eco mode off and see how it acts both ways, if I can really feel any difference, if I can see any difference or anything like that. That's just something I'm personally curious about. Alright, let's see about an acceleration with the eco mode on right now. We're going to start at, let's just say at 20 miles an hour. I'm not going to go full throttle. It's not my car. It's a little bit older car. It has about 90,000 miles on it. I'll do like 3/4 throttle or so. So we're at 20 miles an hour right now. You know, up to 50. So I was like halfway and 3/4 throttle, somewhere between there. So I'll turn around and I'll do another acceleration with the eco mode off now and see if that gives any different kind of a downshift, if it wants to shift any faster, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's change the shifting ratios and the gearing ratios is really what it's supposed to do. Alright, eco mode is off, about 20-ish miles an hour, same thing. felt like it might have been a little bit punchier, maybe a little bit more eager to get up and go. Not really that much of a difference though. But like I've read and stuff before, it's mainly a highway thing, to where it just it gives it like taller gearing, or lets it it won't shift down as hard or shift down as far whenever you're trying to pass somebody, or when you're merging or something like that. It won't give you, it'll be just a little bit more economical with how it drives. So eco. Last few statements that I would like to make. It's a 2.4 liter inline four. It actually does sound pretty good. Like it's an SUV, so it's just supposed to be quiet, but there's a fair amount of engine noise, because I think this is really supposed to be like a little bit sportier of an SUV. It's a compact SUV. It has a little bit sportier of gauges and gauge setup. Just a little cluster and center console area. Has a little bit more sportier of a look to it, which I do enjoy, and like that it's set up a little bit sportier and stuff like that, even though it is still an SUV, and not set up for specifically carving corners or being a straight line speed machine or anything like that, which I haven't driven a whole bunch of different compact SUVs and other smaller SUVs and stuff like that. But what I have driven, what I've seen, it's everything's pretty much on par. It's on par with a lot of other brands of the same price range and stuff like that. Now I'm cruising here with the eco mode off right now, and I noticed that just cruising around, it was more eager to downshift as I was slowing down, whereas before it kind of just wanted to stay in the one gear and just kind of cruise around, but it actually downshifted for me just as I was decelerating, which was cool. That's a nice little surprise. And for a little 2.4 little four-cylinder, it sounds pretty good. It gets up and goes fairly nice, and I mean, no really big complaints. It's a nice car, easy to drive, comfortable, comfortable ride, comfortable seating position, comfortable seats. Few negatives are just the usual kind of cheaper plastics, a little bit cheaper feeling knobs and stuff like that. Seats could be a little bit softer. Besides that, I mean, it's a really nice car, comfortable, great for somebody that's just going to use it for, you know, everyday, you know, commuter car. It does. I mean, with the 2.4 liter, even though this is a big SUV, it's still rated at 30 miles per gallon on, like, for the highway. I think it's 24 city, 30 highway, so combined of like 28, which is really good for like a big SUV like this. No, it's not a big SUV; it's a compact SUV. But still, that's great. It's really surprising. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, you guys. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all next time. Thank you. Bye bye.